real old-fashioned toe-to-toe war, Pascal, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Despite your broken rib and your perforated eardrum, it didn't stop you actually banging each other for 36 minutes.
No, Rob was going crazy in the corner because I never make my night or his night easy. I opted to stand in front of Jean Pascal and fight rather than later on I started boxing and jabbing and moving and using a little bit more skills. But early on, I put it on him in round 1 and I fancied a tear up that night. Mentally I was up for a rumble. It was a world title fight. I was in front of my home crowd and there was a few things going off in my head personally and I just wanted to get stuck in and I did. I had a 12-round toe-to-toe battle and it was a passionate, old-fashioned scrap between two warriors and he's gone on to do great things, Jean Pascal.
He's the current WBC light heavyweight champion of the world at the moment, isn't he? So he's obviously a much better fighter than people gave him credit for.
And what a gentleman he is. I used him for the sparring for the Jermaine Taylor fight and I was in Canada with him for 2 or 3 weeks and he provided great sparring and what a magnanimous man he was in defeat. He's given me my accolade and giving me my praises and he's gone on to win the world title.
He just wants a rematch.
We keep in touch with it. He does want a rematch. I promised him one as well.
Now, when the referee raised his hand at the end of the 12th round and the scores came through, it was a unanimous decision, Carl. It was a fairly straightforward. I think you won by 4, 5, 6 points with the judges. Tell me what your emotions were when it said and the new.
I knew I'd won the fight, or I knew I'd done enough. I knew I'd caught him with plenty of shots. But I don't know. It's sort of surreal. You're lifting your hands. There's a picture of me with my face looks a bit bemused.
Yes.
Like looking out into the crowd.
Probably because you've been banging each other for 12
rounds. I took a lot of
rounds.
shots, yeah, exactly, and it's the only fight that I can't really remember from round 2 to round 8 when I got cut. That's the only memory I had. I mean, I probably shouldn't say this. The British Boxing Board of Control might jump on something, but I must have been
hit. Late now.
I must have been hit that hard. I've got no memory, and I still got no memory from round 2 to round 8. I couldn't remember it. When I watched the fight, I was like, when did that happen? When did that happen? He hit me after the bell there. Because I can usually remember I hit him with that shot. Oh, what a great shot. Yeah, I can remember doing that. Yeah, Rob was losing his mind there because I missed with that one. I left myself open. There's little technical bits I pick up on. I know I'm doing wrong, or if I do something good, I'm like, yeah, I did that right, and I've landed a good shot there, and I've won that round. You can remember round by round. Other fighters will be able to tell you. You can remember significant sequence, but on that fight, I cannot remember from round 2 right through to when I clashed heads in round 8 and got cut. And I think because I was a bit worried about the cut, I'd never been cut before, and the blood was going in my eye. And I sat down in the corner and I thought, God, is my eye hanging off my head? You always think the worst. And Rob said, no, I've done worse shaving, like Rob does. Oh. It will be all right tomorrow.
He's used that line, I'm sure, a few times.
Yeah, definitely.
But so, it was never in dispute, though, the actual thing.
No, I knew my hand was going to get raised. I knew I'd won the title. And, it doesn't sink in until a week, 2 weeks after. You wake up every morning, the belt's in your bedroom, and you're WBC champion of the world. And you do a few interviews and local TV stuff and press stuff. And eventually it sinks in, and it's a great feeling. You
celebrated, Carl, like a wild man, didn't you? Because I remember ringing you 2 days later and you were doing what?
I was busy in my house doing the
skirting boards. You were painting your skirting board. You don't know how to live on the wild side, Carl.
I know.
Did you go out that night for a Guinness, or did you just go back to bed?
We went back to a local pub and I showed my face, but I really struggled to breathe, really like shallow breathing. And I was going to go and have my rib checked. I thought, no, I can't have too many x-rays. They're not good for you, them things. So I left that alone. So I had 2 or 3 weeks of pain with my rib. My ear healed up. And, for 2 weeks after a fight like that, you're pretty much immobile. You just want to lie in bed and just
Did you wear your belt in bed?
No, I didn't wear my belt.
Did you parade it around most of Nottingham?
No, I kept it pretty much where it was. I don't like taking it out and about. Everyone wants to touch it and hold it and bend it, and I'm thinking, I had to work hard for that. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Get off my belt.
So it's on my shelf and it stays up there. But no, I did plenty. I got a lot of attention from the local media and the local radio and
all your chums,
press, and all my friends and family, and doing my shopping for the first time. People coming up, the manager come up with a bottle of champagne while I saw the fight. So very good local, close community in Nottingham. It's not a city that's too big to be not known and too small where it's a one-horse town. It's a good-sized town, Nottingham, and I get received very well. I've got a good following, and with Nottingham Forest as well.
Oh, I bet the players went.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It really was, and I was down the team as well, down the Forest camp where they trained. Couple of weeks after that, doing a bit with Steve Devine, who sort of physioed me through my knee operation when I had my ACL reconstructed. So yeah, all them as well, brilliant. And they was on the fringe of getting promoted to the championships after that.